What's up guys, welcome back to Aquatic Elements. Today we are off to set up a 600 litre custom tropical tank installation. Now my company Aquatic Elements has installed this system and we're going to be setting it up today, getting the fish in and getting it all finished for my client. So let's get ready, let's jump in the car and let's head to the job and check out this awesome new custom aquarium. As you can see now we are in front of the tank in question and it's got this really stunning green cabinetry around it. Now the display holds approximately 620 litres. It is slightly odd dimensions. We've got 2.5 foot tall, 2.5 foot front to back, and then it's about just under 4 foot in total length. And then down in the sump section we've got loads of space for equipment, and we have the sump in question. So I'll just show you down here and take a look at the sump and we can see how the setup works. Now as you can see, this is the sump section from the main display tank. Now the water comes down these two pipes. We've got the standard overflow and then the emergency overflow, which hopefully you can see just here. Water enters into the first chamber where we've got our titanium heater, which is connected up to our D&D heat controller. This then passes over. We've got some filter fleece, 3 layers of sponge. The filter fleece will be changed once every week or so, once every couple of weeks, depending on the bio load in the main display. And then we've got, I'd say we've got approximately 10 to 15 kilos of alpha grog. You will notice that the foams sort of dip off towards one side, and that's because we've got a few more bits of biomedia to go in from the existing aquarium where all of the fish currently are. We've got a few different plecos, catfish, rainbows, tetras that are all going to be heading into this aquarium. The water then flows over to the final chamber where we've got plenty of space for carbon or extra biomedia, and then we've got a variable speed TMC 8000 return pump which pumps it back up into the top of the system. Now you will notice we got some black sand in the tank, but we haven't got anything else in there at the moment because we are going to be removing some of the old items in the old Aqua Oak aquarium, placing them into here, and then we're going to also add some other rocks and pieces of wood at a later date. But that is the tank setup. All of the equipment's in, most of the biomedia is in. So what I'm going to do now is fill the sump up, get it up to temperature. We're going to then pump lots of the water from the old aquarium into this one, start adding the pieces of wood, rocks, etc. And then finally we can get the fish in and get this tank full and set up. As you can see, we're now filling the sump up. I've just got my Eheim pipe attached in here. So this is going to fill up. We're going to make sure it's the right temperature. And we can start getting the decor and the aquascape in the main display. And then we can get the full system running. Now, you can see we've got plenty of filtration here. We've got so much filtration and the bio load is going to be very light on this size aquarium, but I'm sure the customer is going to add a few more fish as the months go by. But essentially just filling this up, getting this up to temperature, and then we can pump in as much water from the old display. I think it holds around 280, 300 litres, so we'll probably get half, maybe a third of the way full. Fill the rest up with dechlorinated tap water. I am using Seachem Safe to dechlorinate it. Now you'll notice we nearly have the sump full, and I did forget to talk about a little feature we have on this tank. Now you may be able to see back in the right hand corner we do have a tap, and this is actually for our top up system. So when we're doing a water change, simply all you need to do is turn on the tap and the water is going to come through this pipe, through the strainer into the sump area. Now we also have a waste pipe, so you can siphon or you can pump out from the sump or do a gravel vac from the display straight over the side of the tank into a pipe here to make water changes a breeze. So all you need to do is siphon into the waste pipe and then turn the tap on to fill the tank back up. So the sump's nearly full now. I'm going to wait for it to fully fill up, then we're going to start getting the aquascape going and we can start bringing this aquarium to life. You can see we've got the bare bones of the aquascape in. Now there are a couple of small rocks in there and they are just some that my customer's chosen. They're going to add some more rocks at a later date, but we've got the bare bones in. I'm thinking we're going to add a few larger size boulders, maybe 8 to 12 inch, just to elevate that piece of wood a bit, and then we're going to use some smaller cobbles, maybe some Scottish cobbles around the base of the wood, and potentially a little bit of gravel or some finer stones to really give it that nice riverbed look. Now they've gone for 40 kilos of black sand to really make the fish colours pop, and the tank is actually being illuminated by a fluval aqua sky light. Now I'm filling the sump up. I'm going to turn the return pump on, get it starting to fill up the tank. Probably going to fill it up about 4 or 5 inches, and then we're going to pump all the water from the existing tank over so it's not too much of a shock on the fish. I'd say we're roughly using about 35 to 40% of the old tank water and then 60% of the new tank water. So let's get it filled up. Now, as you can see, the tank is filling up. I've used the Seachem Safe to dechlorinate. This also removes other toxins like ammonia and chloramine as well. So we're going to get this full, as I said, to around 4 inches, and then start pumping in the old water from the aquarium, netting out all the fish and then getting them into their new home.
A few moments later.
So as you can see, we've now got the tank approximately 5 to 6 inches full with dechlorinated tap water. Now what I'm doing is I am siphoning all the water from the old aquarium down into the sump, and then I'm going to pump that back into the display. Once we've got sort of 4 to 5 inches left in the old system, I'm going to start netting the fish, getting them in, and then we're going to slowly fill up the remaining water with dechlorinated tap water, make sure the temperatures are matching, get the titanium heater and heat controller working to make sure we're maintaining that temperature and we're sort of minimizing the stress on the fish. Then once we got that in, we can get the system all up and running and completely finished. Obviously we do want to add a few bits to the hardscape at a later date. Now a few of you may be saying, what's all going on with the rest of the kitchen? And the actual kitchen that this tank is situated in has been fully refurbished and it's still under a little bit of construction, which is why the walls etc aren't finished, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks it's going to be fully finished. This tank has sort of been around 3 months in the making, and I thought I'd make the video on the final setup. I will put some pictures on the screen of a few progress shots I took of the tank, especially once we got it into position, and now the lovely cabinetry is surrounding this aquarium. But I'll catch you guys once the tank is nearly drained in the other room and we've sort of starting to get this full up, and then we can add the fish to the system. So as you can see, the fish are now in the aquarium and we've just got a few more inches to fill it up to the brim, and then we can get the full system running. So now I'm going to clean the old biomedia, just give it a quick rinse off in the tank water, and then we can get it into the sump and get the full system working. And there we have it, the tank is finally now completely set up, and as you can hear, it is absolutely silent. So it's super quiet, which is absolutely great. We've got this really nice wood structure, and obviously in the coming weeks we're going to add some rock sections. We're going to add some slightly larger 8 to 12 inch boulders, as I mentioned previously in the video, and then some more cobbles and maybe a little bit of gravel or some slightly smaller pebbles as well, just to tie it all in to give it that nice riverbed feeling. But as you can see, the tank moved from the existing tank to the new custom install, went really smoothly. We've got some lovely Bosmani rainbows, we've got a selection of cardinal tetras, some different cories, we've got some stir-bys, we've got those stunning clown loaches. I believe the one at the back, the really large one, is over 10 years old. There's a stunning, I believe it's a watermelon panak pleco, and we've got a few different catfish. And believe it or not, the oldest catfish in this aquarium is actually 35 years old, which is absolutely insane. One of the oldest fish that I personally know. But I'm super happy with the setup overall. We'll take a quick look at the sump before we wrap up the video, just to show you guys how it all works and how the whole system runs. So I'm going to try and stay out the shot a little bit in this. It's not that easy with the cabinet layout, but we've essentially got our two pipes as I spoke about previously. We have our main drain where the water is constantly flowing through, and then we have our emergency drain. A little bit of water trickles down this occasionally, but this is for emergencies just in case that main drain gets blocked. The water flows into the first section where we have our heating element. It goes over the top into filter fleece and then through the sponges, then into the biomedia. We do need a little bit more biomedia in this section to sort of flatten out those sponges. Past the temperature controller's thermostat and then back into our TMC variable speed 8,000 litre per hour return pump. That pumps it back up to the system. Now we've got a really nice space. As you can see, we've got no sort of central peg in the stand. Really nice space in this aquarium to do maintenance. Obviously, as I spoke about previously, we have our top up and also our water change system as well. Now that is essentially it in the sump area. Super simple, super self-explanatory. Now some of you may be saying, well, why haven't you got the sponge filters before that filter fleece? And that's simply so the customer, all they need to do is remove this piece of filter fleece once every 1 to 2 weeks and put a new one in. And that is all the maintenance they need to do on this sump. Maybe every sort of 5-6 months they need to sort of clean out the biological section, but that is essentially it on the main sump area. So let's head back to the top of the tank and we can wrap up the video. So that is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Obviously the tank's a little bit cloudy and we do have quite a lot of air bubbles in the substrate and around the tank, but this is obviously common in a brand new setup. Now if you did like this video, let me know down below, and if you do want to see videos similar to this, or maybe some pond videos or more videos about Aquatic Elements, my company, then please let me know. If you do have any questions, leave them down below. Thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up and happy fish keeping.